So in today's video, I'm going to be taking a second attempt at mounting this handle to this shovel head. Now, last time did not go as planned. Link will be in the description for that video. And basically what happened is it broke. Long story short, not going to get into too many details, but I broke it. With a sledgehammer on, as weird as it sounds, accident. And if you want to know why this video was not posted last weekend like I said it was going to be, check down in the description, there's a link to my Facebook page, and I posted a video there explaining the whole reason why. Let's just say some things came up and I just didn't get around to it, unfortunately. So basically the way we're going to go about mounting this is we want this wood to be touching the base down here, right about in here. So we want it to go the whole length all the way down and touch that, which is going to play very well with the way it actually broke. It broke flat, so we're definitely going to use that to our advantage. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our pencil and we're just going to draw lines kind of around the piece of wood. And this is guidelines. That way whenever we take our plane and we plane down the piece of wood, we know that we're overlapping slightly and getting all those pencil marks off. So we're not leaving any excess wood there. And we're going to go up to probably about right here and stop, because we don't want to start our cutting process up here. That's what I did last time, and it didn't fit as well as it could have. It fit fine, but it didn't fit as well as it could have, so I'm going to start down here this time and see if I can get a better fit. You want to try and do this as slow as possible so that you're not taking tons of wood off and you don't accidentally make a mistake. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is take this little bit of wood down and get it flat again. And also I want to say sorry if you hear rain dropping. It's not rain, it's actually snow. And this snow is very unusual where I live. It doesn't happen too often. And it'll be gone in a few days. Generally, around the coldest part of the year, we might get a little bit of snow. But this time it actually came in pretty good. We actually got, I think, close to a foot, maybe. As you can see there, I'm just taking off a little bit of wood. I actually do want to take off just a little bit more. That's better. And I also want to cut this jaggedy bit off as well. I don't want that. That's no good. And yes, this saw is just a little bit overkill, but I don't think it'll splinter it out. I hope not. And the temperature here actually got down, for the past few nights, got down to about 8 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty crazy for us. I mean, that doesn't happen again where I live. It just, I don't think I ever remember it being that low. It was pretty cool. I definitely got to play around in the snow a little bit. Pretty fun. And also, I got a new addition to my phone. I got a 16 gig SD card, mini SD card. And I'm going to fit that back on there real quick. I'm just going to kind of push and kind of move it around. And it'll leave little indentions again. And you can see where it's kind of scraping, so I know it needs to thin out and taper to fit down in there. Definitely on the sides. It's actually not even touching on the top. Metal's cold. It might be in the 40s, but it's still cold. Metal is anyways. When you're thinning out certain spots, you don't need to draw the pencil lines, because the only time you want to draw the pencil lines is if you're taking down the diameter of the whole piece, not just a certain section. You know, I'm not going around to this side because it's not rubbing there. So, as you can see, that allowed us to go a lot further than we did last time, which is great. We want this as tight as fit as possible. And I can tell it's also rubbing on these corners here, which is no good. So we're going to take those down just a little bit. And you definitely don't have to have a plane, or a vise for that matter, to do this. You can actually just use any old knife. And obviously you want it to be sharp. And I'm going to keep looking here at the end grain, and the reason for that is I can see where I'm roughly taking off the wood. It's going to show down here. I can look at this all day long and it'll look smooth, but if I look at the end grain, I can tell exactly how much I've taken off and where. You notice I'm giving a little twisting motion, and that's to rub the spots in. And as you can see, it's already actually pretty tight on there. Obviously, it's not down far enough, but when you go to fit one of these, something that's going to come in real handy is a rubber mallet. That's because we don't want to ding up the end of our piece of wood here. But each time I'm going to fit this, what I'm doing is I'm sticking it in there the right way, and I'm pushing it all the way down, and then I'm taking the rubber mallet, and just like you would an axe handle, you just hit the back, you hit the end of the handle. Let me just say I apologize for the bad lighting, but that's what you're looking for right there. You want it to be touching the base of the shovel. And it's fine if it spreads this open just a little bit at the back, it's not going to hurt anything. But you want it to be as centered as possible in here. And if I was going to go buy a handle, I'd make sure it was centered, and I would make sure it's the same size as this opening right here. So instead of using a pin, this time I'm going to use a bolt, which is what I really should have done the first time, to be quite honest with you. First step is to drill this hole out a little bit bigger because that bolt will not fit. There's my pencil. Golly, everything seems to fall. I guess that's what you get when you have gravity on your planet. It's really not broken. I mean, so can you... I consider that perfect. Man, that's such a... Whew. Shoulda. I don't think I should. So when you mount this up, do your drilling, you want to make sure it's nice and tight on there, and in its final location. Perfect. The best way to do this is to put the handle in the vise, and then you just kind of start drilling. But you don't want to go too far. Because you don't want to take out too much material in the wrong direction. So you kind of come at it from both angles. And then, hopefully your pen should fit through it. Ha-ha! Alright, so let's do this quickly because I don't have any gloves on. We're going to stick that through, and the washer I'm using is a lock washer. It has a little nylon washer in there that grips around the threads and keeps it from backing off. As you can see, you can't do it by hand. Now you don't want to go too tight on this. By the way, here's a little pro tip, flips on the light. Little pro tip: when you store a plane, make sure you push the blade back, because if you don't and you throw her down on something like a piece of metal or anything, it can damage the blade, and you don't want to be sharpening it every single time you have to use it. Ba-ba-ba! Level complete! Alright, as you can see, there are some threads showing, but no real issues. Looking good. Nice frozen ground test. Yeah, that's pretty sturdy. Oh yeah, beautiful. Whew. I think I might want to get this cleaned up so I can do some B-roll shots. That went a lot smoother this time. I really enjoyed giving this shovel a new handle, and if I wouldn't have made the mistake of trying to pin it without the right torch and the right equipment, basically, then this video would have been out, what, 2 weeks ago. So, unfortunately, it didn't get out 2 weeks ago. I did make the mistake, but good news is I learned a very important lesson. And that lesson is, if you don't have the right equipment and there's a possibility that you could break whatever you're working on, don't do it, because you more than likely will if you're not being careful. Of course, I was unaware of the problem as it was happening, but in retrospect, I'm glad it did happen because now I can avoid it in the future. Now, whenever I do get the fuel for the bigger torch, I more than likely will put an actual pin in the handle like I was originally wanting to do. I may or may not make a video on that, I'm not too sure. But for now, this bolt will be just fine. It will not go anywhere, and it does have a lock nut on there, so that's not going to fall off. It runs no risk of that. And I'm actually glad it did break because it's a bit shorter, but it's not so short that you can't use it while standing straight up. But I'm glad it was a little bit shorter because you could actually pack this little shovel with you camping a lot easier. Not saying that's what it'll be for, but if you did want to do that, you could pack it down a lot easier because of the shorter handle, but it's not unusable because it doesn't have a little tiny handle on it either. It is 34.5 total length from the tip of the shovel to the back of the handle. As you can see, I can still put it on the ground very easily and still use it without bending over, which is great. But it's not that long either, so it would pack down very good. If you want to see the video of me breaking the shovel, check the link in the description for that video. Also, check the link in the description for my Facebook page, and head on over there if you want to find out why this video did not get posted last weekend. Anyways, guys, as always, hopefully you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you later. Walking off stage.